What's happening, party people? This is a service bulletin related to the P80 cars, 850s, S70s, primarily from 92 all the way up through probably 98. Haven't really experienced this much with the 99 and newer cars. However, it is becoming more apparent that some of these transmission related problems is actually the TCU. The computer that controls the transmission is having malfunctions, and that's causing shifting issues. You can normally tell that it's not an issue within the transmission because if you clear the code, especially on the fly while you're driving the car, you have absolutely no issues with the car shifting and driving well. But sometimes, particularly as soon as you start the car, you get a flashing up arrow. The car goes into limp mode, which means it starts out in third gear. It's not slipping. Just the fact that it starts out in third gear makes it crawl up to, I guess, intermediate highway speeds. So from 0 to 35 or 40, it's crawling. But once you get up to 35 or 40 miles an hour, it's driving normal because you're in third gear and it may shift to fourth. It'll shift back and forth from third to fourth fine, but it won't shift down to first or second because it's in limp mode. Now you can usually override this on the fly. And what I mean by on the fly, it means while you're driving. Say for instance, your car is in limp mode. You come to a stop on a traffic light or something. You can grab your gear selector and shift it down to L, which should put that car in second gear. Then you'll start out in second gear instead of third. And then when you pick up some speed, move the selector to third. And when you get up to highway speed, you move it to D. So you can do that while you're driving. That overrides particular commands from that transmission computer. You're manually shifting it. Your P and P switch is controlling what gear it's going into. You can move forward from there. So I wanted to make this video to let you know a little bit about your transmission computers, some of the symptoms, and what you can do about checking that out before you go digging into transmissions, solenoids, and P and P switches and stuff like that. Those things are more time consuming and more costly. Here's an example. Number one, you clear whatever code is in the car is not running. You start the car, and when your car performs its startup check, you automatically get a check engine light or a flashing up arrow. You haven't even moved the car yet. So there's obviously something electronic happening because you're not in any gear to try to activate any shifting. It's not slipping, it's not going in any gear. You're still in park. You started the car and you get a flashing up arrow. So that's symptom number one, that you have an electronic problem and it may be your computer. Number two, soon as you shift out of gear, like park or reverse or something like that, you get a check engine light, maybe a flashing arrow, and the car didn't shift right. I had one lady's car, it was stuck in first gear. It wouldn't come out of first gear. She's driving along in first gear. Well, all she had to do was grab the gear selector and shift it down to L, then the 2, then the 3, then the drive. Well, in her car, it was actually L3 drive, and the car would shift fine. That was a problem with the transmission computer. She was changing speed signals, solenoids, and different stuff like that. None of that stuff fixed it. Dropped another transmission control module in there, which is by your ECU. Takes less than a minute. Car ran fine ever since. You need to be aware that there are issues arising more and more with these computer modules. I have a 1995 Volvo 850 T5R high pressure turbo. In the US, you do not have 62 versions of this transmission. We get one transmission, that's it. In other countries, they have different versions of this transmission, but I don't know if that really matters. What I thought was particularly important was the numbers on the computer transmission module. So here's one here. My 95 Volvo that was built in January of 95 had this computer in there with a 5.3 on it. I had another 95 Volvo that was built in November. It had 4.3 on it. That was a 95 sedan T5R. This one is a 95 wagon T5R. I don't think it matters much on wagon or sedans, as the software version is 5.3. On that car, it was 4.3. On a newer car somewhere along the line, I'm not sure when this happened, if it's the 850 97 model or the S or V70 model cars, I got computers that say ASIN that are 33.3. So today I decided to try to help a gentleman out that's having a transmission dropping in limp mode. He's popping the code before he even pulls it out of park. I went to the car that had this in it. Now, one thing this car had an issue with was, as soon as I started, I got a flashing up arrow and I had a check engine light. The car ran fine, shifted in every gear, never in the limp mode. It did have that flashing up arrow. So I took this computer out of that car and I installed the computer with the 4.3 on it. Started the car, no flashing up arrow, but it did have a check engine light. It immediately cleared that. Drove the car, shifted in every gear fine. There was no indication that there was any transmission problems or computer problems. I put this one back in. As soon as I started the car, I got the flashing up arrow and I got the check engine light. So I took this one out. I put in the one that says ASIN with a 33.3 on there. Started the car, no flashing arrow, no check engine light. When I started to drive the car, it didn't seem like it wanted to shift where it normally shifts. Normally, the way I drive this car, the position I was at on the street, this car would shift from first gear to second gear at around 2200 RPMs. The car didn't shift until I was at 2500 RPMs. So the car shifted at a higher RPM, kind of like I had the sports mode button selected. Then when it went to third gear, it did that again. It didn't shift at a lower RPM like it would have normally done. It shifted at a higher RPM, but it shifts smooth and fine. Came to a stop sign, made a turn, started out again. I needed to move a little more aggressive on this street. It seemed like it shifted where it was supposed to, everything nice and fine. I said all that to say this. You can put different computers in this 850 and it drive fine if the computer's in good condition, not drop in limp mode. Now, if you have emissions and you have a flashing arrow and a check engine light, that may be a problem for you. But if you don't have emissions inspections and you just want the car running right, you can use a 4.3 computer, a 5.3 computer, a 33.3 computer, and possibly others. I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I also wanted to let you know, don't always think it's a problem with your transmission. Now, I had a bad transmission in one of my cars, and anytime I used the kickdown feature, it would throw the car in limp mode and start out in third gear. I had to have the code reader plugged in and reset the code while I was driving. Scanned the code, cleared it. The car ran fine again unless I did a maneuver that required it to kick down again. So I want you to know there is times that there's problems with transmissions. There is times that there's problems with solenoids in there. And there is times that it's just this turbo control module that may need to be replaced. I have them in stock. If you need one, let me know. They're not that expensive. But hey, don't go digging into your transmission, especially if when you clear the code, it drives fine. So one last time, if you clear the code and you start the car and you immediately get a flashing arrow, there's a good chance that you got a problem with this TCU or a problem with your PNP switch. Hope that helps. Here's a couple of clips. Have a great day. I'm here under the hood of my Volvo 850 T5R. It's a 95 wagon. It has this 5.3 computer in it. I'm about to remove it and put this 4.3 computer in it and take it for a test drive to see if it drives fine. You grab the lever, you pull it back, you lift it out. Now you grab the other one, you align it in the slots. Make sure you have both slots lined up. Slide it all the way down. Wiggle it into the slot. Lock it in. Alright, let's go ahead, cover it up, and go for a test drive to see if it drives fine. Here it is. I start the car. I didn't clear the check engine light, so the check engine light's lit, but I no longer have a flashing up arrow. So let's go for a drive. I'm driving along, and it is shifting fine. There is no indication that this computer was not specifically made for this vehicle. All the shift points are going well. It's shifting fine, as if nothing is wrong with it. Absolutely nothing. So I'm up around third to fourth gear now. It's still shifting fine. Everything feels great. I'm going to head back to the house and swap in the other computer. I'm going to take this 4.3 computer out, and I'm going to install the computer that says 33.3 on it. And there you have it. When you go to install it, you got to make sure you have the lever all the way toward the front of the car. Then push the computer in, then push it back. Okay, I started the car. No check engine light. No up arrow. Kind of surprised at that. I'm going to go ahead and shift the car and drive and start driving it. Everything still seems fine. No check engine light. No arrow. But it's not shifting as quick. There it goes. It finally shifted at a higher RPM. Still no up arrow. Still no check engine light. There it goes. It just popped a up arrow. And a few seconds later, it did pop the check engine light. If you got any questions, go ahead and post them. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining. So go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the More link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.